Yo, what is going on, guys? We are here, and today we'll be talking about potential NBA buyout candidates. Not even candidates, where they'll sign. Let me rephrase that. Okay, so the two guys we know for sure are Lamarcus Aldridge and Andre Drummond, which are going to be the main focal point of this video. Then at the end of the video, we'll talk about some other guys that we could maybe see. But right now, let's start with Lamarcus Aldridge. If you guys did not know, Lamarcus Aldridge is a former All-Star who finds himself in free agency after he got a buyout from the Spurs for about 5.8 million. And right now, everybody's widely expecting him to land in Miami because they are looking for a backup big man, especially that they traded away Kelly Olynyk, Lamarcus Aldridge. Really, that's the perfect place for any older player who wants to have kind of a career renaissance in right now because they're regularly touted for getting the players in the best shapes of the career, really good conditioning program, really good training program, and he would fit really good, well for them off the bench, potentially starting for them. But obviously, his mobility is something that's kind of a question mark in his 15th year. But the other teams that he is taking meetings with are the LA Clippers, the LA Lakers, and the Brooklyn Nets. I do not see him going to the Brooklyn Nets. I just think he just sees he won't get enough minutes. They just signed Blake Griffin. If I'm wrong, I could be wrong. I don't see it happening. Plus, I feel like the money would be a little tight there. The Lakers would love to have him because Marc Gasol hasn't really worked out, and they are looking for another big man. They are struggling right now, and I think he'd be interesting for them. I don't know how good he could be for them because defensively he's not going to offer much. Offensively, will he be that consistent? The Clippers, yeah, they're in the same boat. They need help on big men, and we've seen a lot of Nicholas Batum and Kawhi play the four position at times. So it's just interesting to see how they're running stuff. But I really do see the final two teams being the Miami Heat or the Lakers. I mean, the Clippers could come out of nowhere and sign him, but putting my money that he's going to sign with Heat, and if it's not the Heat, it's going to be the Lakers. Now, I think this is I think Lamarcus Aldridge, yeah, he's cool, but he's not really going to be someone to benefit like a team like ridiculous. I don't think he's like a piece that makes you go from be a favorite to a championship to contender if he just signs with any of those teams. He adds depth, but it's not anything insane. Now, Woj, Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN, previously reported that Drummond would consider joining the Clippers after being bought out by the Cavaliers, which he was just bought out about an hour or two ago. And this time, though, Drummond has now included in his list the Clippers, the Lakers, the Celtics, the Nets, and the Mavericks. Though, allegedly, the Nets and the Mavericks are not in that window, in that race anymore. The Hornets and Knicks. With the Hornets not being the front runner, the Knicks are the front runners because the Knicks have the ability to sign Drummond to a long-term deal. I think it's like they're willing to offer a 4-year, $64 million deal for Andre Drummond. Something with 64, might be 3 or 4 years, but basically they're the only team right there to offer him a long-term deal. So right now, this is going to come down to, does Drummond chase the money, which he's already made a lot of, or does he chase the ring while he's still young to build a reputation? If I was him, I'd chase the ring. I'd either go to the Lakers, the Celtics. Yeah, the Lakers or the Celtics, because if the Nets and Mavericks are gone, I'm not going to go to the Hornets or Knicks. Those teams aren't going to make it far in the playoffs. I don't believe it. The Lakers, Celtics, and Clippers are the best. Clippers and the Lakers are the best that he thinks. I mean, the Celtics, honestly, if he went there, I think they would be my favorites for them to come out of the East. Honestly, I don't think anyone else would be coming out the East. If Andre, I think he's like the rebounding piece and the big man that the Celtics are missing. The Lakers will be the Lakers or the Clippers. Whoever gets Andre Drummond, I think will become the favorite because of how important I view rebounding. Rebounding is like, look at Rudy Gobert. He controls a game because he gives his team so many second chance opportunities. And Andre Drummond isn't a terrible rim protector. He's not great at pick and roll defense, but he's not terrible. He can't step out on the perimeter, but he gets the job done. Sometimes on his best days, he's a plus defender. And that's respectable. People don't respect people who are plus defenders anymore. All right. Now, we're on this NBA buyout market. Kelly Olynyk and Gorgie Dang are the two guys I think are like the most likely to get bought out. So Kelly Olynyk, the Rockets have no need for him as they continue their tank season, and he's on an expiring deal, so he's not really going to get a sign and trade deal in the offseason. So he's literally a useful player to play for be a role playing team for some team like the Boston Celtics or anybody that needs a big man who can play a pick and pop game, who can do really good at drawing charges, and he's a decent big man off the bench who need an offensive punch that isn't great at defense. Boston could use him now that they got rid of Daniel Tice. Same thing with this other guy that we're going to talk about, Gorgie Dang. I think Dang's really good. His PR on the season is 19.3, and Xavier Tillman and Brandon Clark are playing in front of him. So at worst, he's a rotational player. He's a guy who come off the bench. I would really like the Los Angeles Lakers to get him. Hey, but beggars can't be choosers. Spencer Dinwiddie's not going to get bought out. I don't even know what they're going to do with that. The next on this list is Wayne Ellington. He'd be good. I mean, obviously, I would like to see him go to either Miami, Milwaukee, or Los Angeles, one of the Los Angeles teams, just a championship team. Mike Muscala is another guy. He's a big man. He's shooting 37% from three and he's on an expiring minimum deal. He's on the Thunder, who aren't really trying to win. They've been playing Moses Brown and Tony Bradley more so they can develop. And we actually could work with the Lakers because they need a stretch guy. Austin Rivers is now on the Thunder, and they don't need him. They got other guys. So you could see a team like Milwaukee, Utah, Indiana, or Dallas claim him on waivers if he enters the buyout market. Corey Joseph also just got traded to the Pistons, and I wonder if they're going to keep him. They traded DeLon Wright for him, so... And Kem Birch, I really like him, and I think they're going to buy him out, even though he's been playing really well, because they probably just want to let Wendell Carter and Mo Bamba just play. But, Steve Clifford's probably looking at this, and he's like, we're still going to make the playoffs. Still going to make the playoffs. So, yeah. This is my thought. I want to see. Okay. Oh, my microphone's backwards. I'm over here looking. I'm why is my microphone looking like it's not on? It's because it's backwards. Avery Bradley, James Ennis, and Sterling Brown, Jeff T, Sam Whiteside, Ben McLemore, Mo Harkless, all guys who get traded. That's pretty much it for me, guys. But peace out.